Hey everyone, my name is Jack. Welcome back to the channel. I cover a variety of topics as they relate to personal finance, real estate, investing, and all of that sort of stuff. So if you like that sort of content, be sure to take a look around the channel. And if you like what you see, definitely subscribe. But in today's video, I just wanted to let you guys know that I am excited to announce that I'll be publishing my first book by the end of August of 2020. And I need your guys' help to get there. And if you stay to the end of this video, I'll let you know how you guys can actually get a free copy of this book when it is actually published. The book is called The One Property Retirement, and it's about a simple strategy for building your retirement nest egg using the power of real estate and long-term buy and hold investing. The strategy is just as it sounds. It's pretty simple. You buy a property that can actually fund your retirement 30 years or so in advance with a low down payment mortgage, and then through time you have your rental income pay down that mortgage and also keep a healthy reserve fund throughout that time to make sure that if there's any short-term fluctuations, you're okay. And then by the time you reach the end of the 30 years, you will have a large equity pool in the property, and you'll also have untapped cash flow because your mortgage will be paid off by the end of the 30 years. The book goes over the finer details of what makes this strategy so powerful and the actual numbers of a particular deal that you might end up finding yourself doing, and it also explains how to actually get through a deal if you've never been exposed to real estate before, or even if you have and you're just not quite sure on the actual mechanics of a deal. I explain that in the book, and it should be a handy guide for actually executing this strategy as well, not just explaining the concept. I think the current world of retirement investing focuses so much on slow, steady investments into the stock market, and while that's all well and good, it takes a very long time, which the one property strategy doesn't necessarily fix, but it does take a ton of money to invest whatever portion of your yearly salary for 30 to 40 years just to get to the point where your retirement's actually pretty comfortable. Whereas with the one property strategy, you just make a lump sum investment in the beginning for a fraction of what you'd actually be contributing to your retirement fund over many decades. And then you still get that same result at the end, if not an even better result, because you have so much cash flow and the equity in the property that you can use in retirement. I actually explain this sort of example in the book where if you take $100,000 that you save up in your 20s and 30s and then throw it into the stock market and never touch it again, assuming you get about 7% return per year, you're looking, because of compound interest at the end of 30 years, at about a 20% average annualized return. And that's pretty good if you're just looking at that. But the alternative would be to take that same $100,000 and put it into a $1 million property using a low down payment mortgage, which you can do in this great country with low interest rates and so much freely available debt. But you take that same $100,000 with the low down payment mortgage, and by the end of the 30 years, when the loan is paid off, you're looking at something more like a 50 to even 75% return, depending on how much the property appreciates. And that's only assuming it appreciates about 1 to 2% per year, including the rent as well. So you can get some pretty gigantic returns compared to what you would be getting in the stock market. Not to mention you'd probably have to put a little bit more into your stock portfolio just to make sure that you can weather a storm, because we've seen what a market storm looks like, and it can really wreck a retirement in a very short amount of time if you're not adequately positioned. Whereas if you have a totally paid off property, you have a lot more options, not only through the cash flow, but also through the equity that you can tap into by taking out a new loan or even selling the property and then moving all of that cash into something more defensive. I'll definitely have some more videos about this one property retirement strategy and strategies linked to it, and how you can really make your investing a lot more efficient when you use debt in a good and I'll say healthy way to make your returns a lot higher without exposing yourself to too much unnecessary risk, which you can run into with debt. Debt obviously is a weapon. In this book, I show how to use it responsibly in a way that can really make your retirement planning a lot more efficient and I think a lot more powerful as well. But I mentioned that I needed your help, and that's to help me finalize the actual final draft that will go out for publishing. I have a completed draft that I am just making some minor edits to before I actually send it to an early readers list. And those early readers will be helping me to actually give their feedback so I know whether I'm missing something, if there's some question that has gone unanswered that I don't realize. I definitely want to see what you guys think about this book, because you're the sorts of people who are going to be reading it, and I want to see what you guys think so that by the time the actual final draft rolls around, it'll be in a much better place and the best place that it could possibly be in, so that the most people can get the most benefit out of the book. I'll include a link in the description to a page with more information about joining my private Facebook group of this early readers list, who will actually be getting the book in advance, will let me know your feedback, and then I'll incorporate that feedback into the final draft so that everything goes smoothly and that the final draft really does exactly what it's supposed to do, and that's deliver a solid message with solid fundamentals and an action plan that readers can actually follow. And that's actually how you guys can get a free copy of the final draft of the book, the published draft. If you guys help me out with the private Facebook group and actually becoming an early reader and giving me feedback before I actually go to publish the book, you guys will definitely get a free copy of the final draft. So again, if you guys want to help, check out the link in the description. It'll take you to my website, which will then have a link to take you to my private Facebook page, where you can actually ask to join that group, and then it'll have a couple questions there for you to answer, just so I can filter out any spammy accounts that might find their way through. So once you guys do that, I'll let you into the group, and you can be well on your way towards helping me get this final product out. But I'm really excited about this whole thing. It's my first ever book that I'm going to be publishing, and I want to make sure it's a good launch and that it's really helping people the way I would want any book to help someone. That's by giving them good knowledge and good information, and also an action plan and at least a new perspective on things that people can actually take and use, which not every book does, unfortunately. Well, anyways, that's all I've got for today. I don't want to take any more of your time. If you like this video, please like it, since it helps the channel out a lot, and it'll also expose other people to this video and this book launch announcement, and maybe they'll be interested and maybe they'll come help out as well, which would be great for me and hopefully them as well. And if you think anyone would be interested in this sort of book, or maybe in just helping to edit the book, definitely share this video with them so that they know about it, and send them the link to my webpage so that they can actually check out the book and what it's about and how they can actually help out. I'd really appreciate that as well. So if you know anyone, definitely share it with them and they can join the team. But until next time, take care.